Hello, Think
Howdy.
Natalia community. Today I have another phenomenal guest, a person who has been in my life for, I think, more than 2 years. The story, how we met, how we started working, how this whole project turned into an incredible journey is, I mean, most probably this interview would be worth talking about 2 hours or so. We give our best to keep it short. And without further ado, Jan, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you to Natalia, and welcome everybody. I'm so looking forward to this conversation today. Cool. And you know what? It is actually incredible that I made it here, right? Like after 2 years, I can't even believe that. Yeah, but let's talk about it later.
Exactly. Let's start with who you are and what you do. So, for everybody who sees you for the first time is wondering,
Sure.
what is Jan doing? What would you say?
Yep. Okay. Well, so I am. My name is Jan Nyvlt, and I am loving husband. I have two marvelous boys. I live in Prague, and I spent my career as a management consultant. I worked for firms like Accenture and KPMG, and pretty much I was the engagement manager. I served dozens customers and deliver the digital strategies and like strategic engagements for them.
Mhm.
So that's pretty much my former career. In 2019, my partner Pavel and I decided to break up with our employer, and we founded our own consulting firm.
Mhm.
It is called Brights because
Mhm.
we are bright guys, and yeah, and the following year, which was 2020, I
Mhm.
bet, we created our number one value proposition, which is the strategic design sprint. I will
Mhm.
definitely want to talk about it today. Um, and I am pretty much the expert to deliver those strategic design sprints. So that's in short about me.
Okay, let's dig
Mhm.
into that right now. What is the strategic design sprint and who is it for?
Okay, sure. Yes. So, well, let's start with client. My client, my target customer, is manager or are managers with ambitious goals,
Mhm.
right? And and their teams, not only managers but also their teams. And when you have ambitious goal, when you have a big challenge to tackle, and you are at the start line. Uh, at that moment, you pretty much don't understand the problem a lot, or there is a big possibility that you don't.
Mhm.
And what I have seen many times in my lifetime, that people do two things:
Mhm.
either they rush into the change, and
Yeah.
they kind of they kind of risk wasting money and energy on something irrelevant,
Yeah.
right? Or they try to define the problem, which is a good thing. That's definitely what's supposed to happen.
Mhm.
But in like regular corporate environment, they experience things like endless meetings, and they need people that have different priorities, and they hear a lot of attitudes why it's bad idea and so on, right? So, and the strategic design sprint is actually the third way
Mhm.
how to do such a thing, how to tackle such a moment.
Mhm.
And the big idea about the strategic design sprint is that you get real into the problem, into your business problem, and create a solid strategy to tackle it in just 2 weeks.
Hmm.
And the thing with the strategy is to be the strategy solid or actionable. You need to do three things. First, you need to describe what's the value you want to
Mhm.
create, right? Second, you need to set the approach, how
Mhm.
to reach the partial and final results. And the third, you need to define the clear next steps. Yes. And so, and what you do, you can do all of this in two short weeks. You're like squeezing half a year of preparations into 2 weeks, and it's such a ride. It's like it is a ride. Like people keep telling us when we're ready that those were the most interesting weeks in their working for the company, and you can tell they're totally exhausted because because it's such a ride. Yeah. So yep, that's the sprint, and it's exciting.
I mean, I can see you get glitter in your eyes when you talk about
yes.
it. And you
Every
had enough time
right?
to think about it and design it. So kudos to you. Maybe one last question when it comes to this bubble. Where are you based? And do you only offer your services where you're based, or is that a European concept or a global concept?
Well, I'm based in Prague, Czech Republic. And so right now, most of my clients are based in Prague, Czech Republic. I serve companies with headquarters in here, but I will talk about it a little bit later. One of the transformations I have gone through, and is the last one, Natalia, I talked to you about about 2 or 3 weeks ago, is that I'm kind of like stepping down with my target customers, and I am now able also to serve not only the top managers, but also like the people from the teams. And I am creating actually like tutorials and the guides. So I am able actually to serve people digitally, remotely, and teach them how to do things. So now I am really thinking hard about like serving people around the Europe. I would say Europe is pretty much my target area. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, let's move back.
Yeah.
2 years. Why did you initially approach us? What was the challenge?
Okay. That's another good story.
This interview is all about stories, so bring them all on. Love to hear them.
So much happened in 2 years. So many stories to share. So actually, 2 years ago, 2020, our company was like 3 or 4 months old. And we were doing, with my partner, we were doing a lot of strategic discussions, how we are going to differentiate, what are we good at, and so on. And we were really like thinking hard about consulting business, how it works, what are the principles, right? And if you look at famous and very famous consulting firms like McKinsey and Bain and Company and BCG. BCG is actually the exception, but for what I want to say, they always start with the names of their founders. BCG is not, right? But Ernst & Young and whatever, right? KPMG, I don't know what the 2 forwards are, or the names are, but they are the first initials. And so you can tell that this consulting business is always based on the experts. It is the expert business. It is always about that customers need to have a strong relationship and belief in what the expert is doing, that he is right about, and he's really capable of the help, right? And so this was like very like elementary idea. And we were like, okay, we need to make ourselves experts, with a big name, right? And so we were also thinking that regular consulting companies, what they actually don't do, they kind of like inhibit the names of like the regular consultants, of the army of consultants, because the only name that is supposed to be on pedestal is the name of the company and the partners, right? And we were like, well, this needs to change. We need to be different, right? And so we will make this happen, and we will enable consultants to create their own names, their own brands, their own expertise, and so on. And I felt I need to be the first one that does that. And I was like, I need to start with personal branding, right? I need to make myself the expert if I want to teach others to become the expert, right? And that was the reason why I contacted you, Natalia, because I felt I needed to help with that.
Awesome. I remember, because I think we had a conversation and then we realized, yep, you really need that. I definitely think I can help you, but you said the timing was not right. So let's have another conversation in 6 months. And then we had another conversation and you were like, yes and not and whatever. I was like, okay, what did your sales trainer teach you? Like, how do you manage such people? Make them commit. And we made
Okay.
you commit.
Oh, yes, you did.
Right? And
You
you
did.
made a down payment. And then you said you're going to start in January. And I think something around that time you
And
actually started.
well, it took me another time actually. But you know what? The reason is that I have had more tasks to accomplish than your regular client, I would say. So, because I would say that your most of your clients are aware and kind of like stable in their value propositions, and they only need to start to help with the branding, with marketing, with the talking to people, using social medias, and so on. But we were actually creating the offer. We were recreating the doing our positioning and so on. So that's why it took me so long.
Yeah. And do you remember your first milestone? Again, it's a while ago, but the first time when you felt really successful, when you thought, damn, this is actually working.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. I can actually share like four of them.
Bring them all. Number one. Ta-da!
Number one. Well, so the milestone number one was the point when I started to understand how to make expert out of me, how to become an expert. That was the you helped me with the reference to Expert Secrets from Russell Brunson. Right? And I just read the book. Then I read all the other books from him. And I started to understand what I need to do, how I need to behave, and actually how also to work with my clients and create the irresistible offer, right? So that was the number one. Milestone number two was creation of irresistible offer. We did it. We really analyzed our customer, his or her problem, and created a solution. The milestone number three was actually the proof that the offer is good. It's that it works. We proved it with the customer that they want it, they bought it, we delivered it, and they were so surprised with the outcomes that they started to talk about us, which was the thing. Now, milestone number, how many? Third, fourth.
Give me four.
All of them. I started to post about it, right? Yay! Finally. That was like October 21. And that was the time I finally started to actually join the Q&A calls. Exactly. Because I finally have some content to discuss. And my last milestone has been happening like last 2 months. I've been working on this product market fit. So I've been working on how to actually package the product in different ways, and what are the specific target groups for the different packages, building the value ladder, right? So so that's it. Cool. Such a transformation. 2 years. Great.
Okay, so let's also talk about content. Why didn't you publish any content before that? And how did your mindset had to shift, or how did it shift so that you actually got started?
Okay. I think there were two parts of it. First part is I felt I really need to find my voice. I need to find what is my topic. I felt that I need to the people to understand very clearly that they connect my person with one specific expertise, with one specific topic, and that's it. And I had to find it. So that was the first thing. That before I had one, I wasn't feeling like posting because I was missing it, right? And the second part of it is more technical. I kind of was looking for the good blend of like expertise posts and funny posts and and create a routine to actually do it, and so on. Yeah. So that and with the second part, what really helped me was your course or your methods, right?
Okay. And how did your content, because you've been posting now for what, a year, maybe?
No, from October, half a year.
Half a year. Okay. So do you see a change in your content, how it manifests on the outside, or also how you feel about it, or how you, approach, like, oh, today is content creation day? Like, is there any development or shift?
Well, unfortunately, this like right now, it is kind of like weird situation since the Ukraine war is going on. And to be honest, I don't really post in last 2 or 3 weeks because it's I kind of don't feel like that now, because the topics that are going on the social medias are just so like war intensive, and I don't even feel that my topics is a good one for just this week's or so. So that's kind of, but this is kind of like specific situation that I hope it will end up very soon. So, but what changed? Well, it took me some time to, or it's still taking me some time to I'm still finding my voice. I'm still this is not something that just like happened once, right? So so my content gets more like crisp. I understand better how to also do the selling content, like the 15% of the sales posts and so on. So that's something that changed. And what will change, I'm now like really looking forward to I don't know, like 4 weeks. In 4 weeks, what will happen is that the my landing page will be out in the world. I can actually show it to you if you want. And I will start to work on the thing like creating the squeeze pages, the lead magnets, and then using the social media as the traffic generator. So I'm really looking forward to the point, which is coming very close, that I will be like creating one content and I will use it 3 times. Once as a post or for some post to generate posts, second as a squeeze page, and third as a part of the final product, right? Yes. So this is change that is coming. It's not here yet, but it definitely will change the way how I create content and how I communicate to people.
Awesome. And you have also published some videos. I know that video is usually the category that gets people into panic mode. It's like, oh my God, I know what I'm publishing a video. So how did you feel about publishing your first video? And what was the lessons learned after that?
Yeah, well, what I tell you now is also kind of weird, right?
That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, when I recorded and published my first video, I said, finally, finally, because I prepared myself for recording videos for a year. I created like the intros and outros. You know, I'm blue.
Yeah, I know. This man
everything.
Almost drove me insane, by the way. Can you see?
Right. Yeah. So finally in October, I did have the content. I felt like it's the right time, and I just started. And it was like, oh yes, that was a good milestone, actually.
Yeah. And I mean, the videos are great, and you're awesome on camera, and you're having fun. So
cool.
Kudos.
Yes, it is good, and I think it works well because people get more personal feeling about you when they see you in motion, when it's not only this picture and text. It's much more personal.
Cool. And did you somehow benefit from the tribe, from the weekly group calls? Is there any friendships or collaborations that came up? Any source of inspiration? Tell us more about it.
Right. Well, in this way, shame on me, Natalia.
No, wait, don't work with
Yes.
shame. That's terrible. It's a
Yeah.
terrible
Okay. No.
low energy.
Because
Forgive
okay.
yourself.
So okay, but the thing is that I haven't really been in any kind of relationship or contact with the tribe, unfortunately. Um, uh, Besides the Q&A calls, right? But the reason is just I don't know. I have so little time, and I'm so focused on my blue processes to really like keep going,
Yeah.
that I'm not really a very social person in the way that it doesn't correspond to my top priorities. Actually, I'm very social when it comes to the things that are important for me and for my clients. But once it is not, or I don't see the direct connection, and I'm so over busy that I just like skip it in some way.
Oh,
But
that's okay.
Q&A calls are great. I really enjoy that whatever topic we bring in, there are different there are different point of views from the other attendees, and most of all, it's just great spirit, and you get more out of it compared to a one-to-one interview or one-to-one meeting. So cool, yeah, definitely.
Awesome. And what is your biggest transformation so far, or the biggest achievement when you look at everything that you have become as a, maybe even as a human being? It doesn't need to be LinkedIn marketing or product or whatever unique value proposition. What is the deepest change or transformation that you went through where you think like, that one, it's just it had such a huge impact on the quality of my mind or life, or on the quality of how I deal with my mind? Is there anything else, any story that we didn't share yet?
I think so. It is actually the peace in my heart.
Oh.
Because when we started to collaborate, Natalia, or we started to work together, it was just still about like half a year after I left the big consulting firm. And what you experience is a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, and the organization is also very political. You need to whatever, just skip it.
Yeah.
And
corporate.
And the great thing was that just to break up, to be on my own feet, and to do it as I want, and also to start to find the journey, to see the journey, and to walk the journey, and every day a little step. And after some time, which is kind of like last couple of months, I really am much more patient, much more like with peace in my heart, and actually also less blue. I'm more, at least I think so.
Yeah, you are. I mean, look at your profile. Your profile it's not the typical consultant or advisor. You definitely also added personality. I personally see in your content that you're opening up, or that you're warming up. So I see a more whole, a more rounder Jan. I mean, we talked about content. You put yourself out there. You experiment with different things. We didn't talk about your network yet. Did it grow over the last year? Did you meet interesting people, also people in your industry?
Yes, I have. But you're not supposed to say yes, but, right? You're supposed to say yes and.
Exactly. First rule in improv theater.
I know. No, it just went over my mind. That's hilarious. Well, so yes, and it is going to get much better, actually, because I'm still in the phase that I was just like putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
And 2022 will be the first year when I'm going to like spread the word about it and really invest the time into relationships and into people, because now it, as you said, now it's getting whole, and when it's getting whole, it's something that can be shared. So in next 2 months, I have already registered to 2 conferences where I will be speaking about strategic design sprint.
Yay!
Yes. And like every week I have some like introduction meetings with customers and so on. So I do, but still I feel that this is just the beginning. It's the beginning of the journey. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know who said it. I think it was David Goggins who said that when you feel you're really good, you're scratching at 30% of your your potential. So I'll butcher the whole quote, but it was something along these lines. So,
But you know what? It's so exciting. You feel you are doing something in your life that you love, that you are self-realized. The self-realization just works, and so on. It's so great. Yeah.
And it's yours. I mean, you went through everything. You've designed all of this on your own. You realized, okay, this is what I want. And then in the process realized, you know what? Actually, I want to change, because I realized that's not really what I want. So you threw everything out of the window, and you had the courage to say, you know what? I'll start from scratch. And you didn't only listen to me, you started Russell, who for me is like the guy who created the books, which are the online Bibles, if I want to use that word, of digital marketing. So you have put in the work. And also with the month, because you said you're less blue, so everybody's like, what do I mean? We're talking about the DISC model. So blue is the very analytic, zero risk or very low risk. We need to double check and control everything. We need to plan it. We need to put in Excel sheets. You still do that, and you allow yourself to do less of it and to have more fun and to play more. And I'm 100% sure that once you go out more, network with people, get in more leads, you will realize, you know what, why am I so strict to myself? Let's remove 10% more pressure, and let's remove then another 10% and another 10%. So with the time, you will feel home or at home in it, and you will arrive within your true essence. I have zero doubts. So keep up.
That's cool.
Work.
Yeah, it's such a great journey. Thank you for joining me on that journey.
Is there
not only joining, but also tutoring me on the journey. Yes.
That's how I see myself with. I've walked the path before you, or before the people that I work with, and I go on the journey with you. I hold your hands. If there is a hole, I say, okay, this is a hole, and you need to, this one is easy to jump. If it's a longer one, let's see if we can't find another one where there's a bridge. Or sometimes we need to crawl. It's like, okay, this is how crawling works. Let me teach you crawling. Hey, come. Now, I crawled first, now you crawl after me. And it works. It works. I mean, I'm not, I'm not promising you become a millionaire within 2 days. Crap. So I just don't believe in that. I believe in smart work, and I believe in looking at or getting support from all sorts of people and working on the inside and outside, and eventually you're going to get there. And you are a wonderful living proof that it's possible. And everybody grows and develops at their own time. And that is okay as well. You can't just squeeze people into the same form or shape. The round, peg, you can't put it into the square one. That's just not how it works. So I'm super happy that you stick to it, and that you keep on showing up.
And we made it. And we made it in 2 weeks, 2 years.
Exactly. It's like, this is, I just laugh about it. I smirk about it. I'm very, very happy that you, again, trusted us and did the work. So thanks so much for doing that.
Thank you, too.
Is there any story that is important to you, or any kind of piece of information that we forgot? Then I think now is the good time to share it. If not, what kind of people would you love to connect with on LinkedIn, in the sense that somebody who sees this and says, oh, this is interesting. Should I reach out to Jan? So in a perfect world, what kind of
Right.
people should connect with you?
Well, the easy answer is my target customer. But who is that, right? I would say there are two groups of people. My like primary customer are the people like managers, executives in corporates that need to that have the big challenge, that need to kickstart some big change, right? That's definitely one type of person or of people that I would love to connect with, not only over the social media, but over all the channels that I can use. And the second, which is kind of new to me, is that now I'm also ready to share my knowledge with team people, with like product owners and project managers and so on, that are actually responsible to deliver those changes in the corporates, right? So and I'm talking about people that are experiencing what I described, like endless meetings and a lot of attitudes, and they just don't like it. They feel that the way how they work is inefficient, is wasting their energy and time and whatever, and they are looking for something better, for something more efficient, more fun, more all of those things. So now I'm definitely like ready to connect with those people, and I want to actually build a tribe of those people and invite them to co-create the strategic design sprint, because every such person can bring their own topics, and every new topic means we need to think about it, and let's try it this way and let's try it that way, and learn to use the method for the different situations, which is pretty much that what I want to do, and I want really to help those people to succeed with their changes.
Absolutely. And as you said, it's not about, oh, here, now we have the strategy. You have it on a PowerPoint presentation. Halas, now I'm gone. It's about being actionable and about really making sure that people implement stuff. So this is what I liked about your concept. And I mean, for everybody who hasn't been in the group coaching calls, I've been doing like this all the time. It's like, I don't get it. What is that you do? No, explain it to me to a 5-year-old. What's the customer pain point? What's your unique value proposition? How is it really? It's like, not convinced yet. So we poked a lot. And I think what you came up with in the end is something that is an incredible concept. Based on the feedback that you get from the customers, it is something that the world needs. So yeah, sending heaps of amazing opportunity.
Definitely.
Let's hope that people understand and have the courage to ask for help.
Yeah, it will be incredible. I definitely, I'm sure about it. Whatever it will come, it will come. It's cool, but it will be an incredible journey.
Yeah, and as I said, when you talk about it, you have this smirk and this glitter in your eyes. You're passionate about it, and you do care, and that makes a huge difference. You're not like one of those people who just do it because they need to do it. You actively chose it, and you designed it in a way that is fun for you. And that's why I fully believe that people will decide for you, because you raise the energy, you make it more fun. You still, deliver the data and the facts and the strategy and all of that. But it's not as dry and boring and lame as the standard principles. So we definitely should keep in touch, and you need to keep me posted about any kind of further milestones.
Yeah, and that's your point of view, and thank you for that. But in my blue point of view, it is the thing that we care is also like interwoven into the method. As I said, the first biggest idea about the sprint is that we need to get real. We need to get evidence how things really work. And this is the part that is most underestimated by managers. They skip it. They skip the understanding thing, right? And when you understand, you are actually showing to people in the company that you care, that you are actually listening what they're saying, and you are finding what the true problem is, and you're not doing something superficial just to make your career grow, but you really want to help. And that's why we get such a great feedback, because people are like, wow, in 2 weeks, and we now understand what's going on. And those people actually wanted what they designed. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, and again, yeah, excited, you know.
Yay. Okay. I mean, from my side,
thank you.
All the questions that I had for you, the exciting growth was definitely discussed. Again,
thank you, Natalia.
Thanks for everything. It was a hell of a ride. And,
definitely.
I look forward to meeting you in person in the very near future. I'm sure our paths will somehow cross. And until then, again, all the best. And
my sister was in Dubai 2 days ago, so hopefully I will get to Dubai very soon. Or you come to Prague, or somewhere in Germany, or whatever.
Exactly. Good. So once again, we keep in touch and talk very soon.